In this Blender tutorial, I am going to explain about the LoopTools process completely. I have added some of the objects for the example. First, we have to enable the LoopTools add-on. For that, go to Edit, Preference, and in the Get Extensions, and just search for LoopTools add-on. Already I have installed it. If you did it install, you will have an install button here like this. After that, connect it to the network and then install it. After installing in add-ons, you will find your LoopTools add-on with enable. If it didn't enable it, just enable it. That's all. Okay, now we have enabled it. I'm going to select these four faces and here top these four faces, then right click. We will have a LoopTools option. In here we have so many options here. The first one is bridge. Just click the bridge option. It will bridge those selected faces. In the pop-up menu, we can increase or decrease our segments. If you need twist, you can just slightly change the amount. We will have a twist. After that, by changing the strength, we will get some interesting shape as you see. So you can play with the values and find which one is best for you. This is the first option about bridge. The second one is circle. Starting by selecting some of these faces here, then slightly insert it to have some clean topology, and then right click LoopTools circle. I'm going to scale it down slightly. After that, I can delete it, and then pressing Ctrl 3 to add subdivision modifier of with level 3. Now if you see, I have a neat clean circle hole, but we can do another thing also. I'm going to undo the process, and then without deleting these faces right away, I'm gonna extrude it and then delete it. Now I will add subdiv modifier. Now it looks completely fine, but I think we have to add a loop cut. Instead of adding a loop cut, I'm going to select these edges and then pressing Ctrl B to bevel it, and then segments to 2, shape to 1. Now it looks completely fine. But I have to tell you another one thing. At starting, I have selected those faces and then inserted it. After that only I changed that into a circle, right? What if without inserting those faces, if I change it into a circle, what will happen? It is relevant to a hard surface modeling. That means now you are going to learn about the hard surface modeling tips. And I'm going to undo all of my process. I'm going to duplicate the plane, and then once again, already these faces is selected. I'm going to insert it. And there is another one thing I have to tell. In right side panel, in edit option also, we will have a LoopTools option. By just simply clicking the circle, it will do the process. I'm going to scale it down and then extrude it and then delete it. Likewise, in here also, these faces selected. Without inserting, I'm going to right away click the circle and then extrude it down and then delete it. Now for these two plane, I'm going to add subdiv modifier. If you see it here, I have some nice and neat geometry, but on the other hand, for this object, it is in the same, because as you see here, I have some weird geometry. The main reason is because if you look closely, this single vertex is connected with the observed to edge vertex. For this object, it doesn't like that. Each vertex is connected with a single vertex only, but in here, a single vertex is connected to the other two edge vertex. So that's why we are facing this weird geometry. While hard surface modeling, sometimes you will face this problem. That time don't panic. The simple solution is just to select these edges here, and then I'm gonna select these edges also. Just press Ctrl B to bevel. It will add some support loop cuts. That's all. Your problem is solved. If you compare these both objects, the circle hold only the difference, but other than it has some nice geometry. If you see here, this corner edge vertex is connected with a single vertex only. So that's why I didn't have that issue. Now you have learned something new about a hard surface modeling tip. And the final interesting thing about circle is by selecting any one of these vertex, if I click circle, it will turn the surrounding vertex into a circle shape. It is something interesting, right? So I'm gonna randomly select these four vertex and then click circle. Now it will turn those surrounding vertex into a circle. The third option is curve. I'm going to move some of the vertex randomly like this into a different position. Just randomly I'm doing it. Now select the first and last vertex. After that, select the vertex which you have just moved into a different position. And then right away just click the curve. Now we will get some nice curve here. Reducing the influence, we will have a little bit effect only. So you can play with the value, and then you can change the interpolation to linear. But if you want this to be a curve, then just leave it to a default cubic option. For this cube object also, I have changed some of the vertex positions. So first I'm going to select the first and the last, and then selecting these three vertex, because these three vertex only I have just moved into a different position, and then clicking the curve option. That's all. And the fourth one is flatten. I'm going to select some of the faces. After that, right away, if I click the flatten, it will flat it. In the pop-up menu, the plane option is in best fit. If I change this to normal, it will flat based on the normals. If in case I change this to view, it will flat based on the view. And the next option is Gstretch. This option will be straighten our edges or vertex. For example, if you see this vertex is not straightened, it is just moved here like this. So I'm gonna select this vertex here. If I just click Gstretch, it will straighten our edges. If you look closely, this edge ring, it isn't in a straighten, right? So for that, never ever select this whole edge ring, and then if you click Gstretch, it will become a disaster. So don't do that. Just select this one side vertex, and then if you just click Gstretch, it will straighten. So likewise, select the other side of the vertex and then Gstretch. Likewise, here also do the Gstretch. And the next thing is about Loft. If you see, I have added some of the circles, but it has a gap, right? If I just click the Loft, it will connect it with the faces. It is something quite interesting, right? Likewise, you can increase or reduce the segments, and then you can twist it slightly. Likewise, you can change the strength value too. The next option is about relax. This option will be so much helpful while in hot surface modeling. About this object, if you see, I have some sharp edges, right? So for that, what I'm gonna do is first is selecting these edges, okay? If I just click relax, it will just give relaxation to the sharp edges. If you see, for this edges also I need to be relaxed. So for that, if I just change this input option to parallel, then it will do the same process for all of these parallel edges. And then by changing the iteration value, I will have more relaxation effect or less relaxation effect. You can change the interpolation from cubic to linear, that is your wish. So likewise, about if you take this spline, I can select these edges, and then if I click relax, it will relax all of my parallel edges, because if you see input still in parallel, if I change this to selection, it will just give relaxation to this single edge. If I change this to parallel, it will give relaxation to all of my parallel edges. That's all about relax. And the final one is space. Space is nothing but it will give equal space between each vertex. For example, if you take this side of the vertex, about this vertex and this vertex, it is slightly moved, and now it doesn't have same gap between each vertex, right? So first is selecting these vertex. If I just click space, it will give equal space between each vertex, as you see. Likewise, I'm gonna select these vertex and then space, here also space, and then here also space. Likewise, selecting these vertex and then space. That's all about the LoopTools add-on. I have explained about everything, especially this LoopTools add-on will be more helpful in hot surface modeling.